Time for a super fun video about Blizzard cutting content from the expansion and then selling it to us early for more monies, instead of making it the in-game mount that it should be. This is a bloody disgusting business practice. Now we all know that people are always raging on about Day 1 DLC and other games, but this, guys, this is worse. They're selling us the DLC stuff before the expansion has even came out, and as I'm going to explain on in this video, it is at the expense of expansion content. That is the key. So, the Iron Skyreaver and Fey Dragon mounts are both inside Warlords of Draenor, with the Fey Dragon actually being a flight point, and also being used by a few NPCs. Now, the Iron Skyreaver is not a flight point at the minute, but it is used by a number of NPCs, including one of the bosses in the revamped Upper Blackrock Spire. Basically, guys, these were bits of content that were already inside Warlords of Draenor. And what did Blizzard do? Well, they decided to copy-paste them out of the Warlords of Draenor build, paste it into 5.4, stick it in the store, and sell it to us. Now, look, most people who defend this practice say that it's okay because the mounts are unique and special, i.e., they're paying for extra work to be done, and they're paying for a mount that otherwise would not make it into the game. And you know what? I can actually, to a degree, think that that's reasonable when it comes to World of Warcraft. If there's some sort of just crazy-ass, far-out mount, that's an absolute 420 blazing swagalicious thing, whatever, fine, charge for it. But if it's a bit of core content that should be in the game, then it's not cool. Now I'm going to explain to you what the big problem is. These are Warlords of Draenor mounts. I mean, hell, you see the Fey Dragons? They're even bred in a part of Shadowmoon Valley called the Dracorium. You're in this quest hub full of store mounts. It's absurd. Now you may think that all this stuff is a little bit scummy, but since it doesn't really impact you that much, maybe you think it's okay. Well, fair enough. Challenge accepted. Now it's time to hopefully explain to you why you should care about this. So, in this case, these mounts are at the expense of other in-game mounts, and they're also at the expense of, well, the mounts that they would have been in-game. Now yes, this may be a slight hypothetical here, but Blizzard have cornered themselves. So in a past expansion, what would have happened is you probably would have got the Fey Dragon by questing or getting rep at the Dracorium. However, now you do not. And if they were to release another Fey Dragon, then how the hell would they make it different from the store one? A color change, frankly, is not enough to make the original one a worthwhile purchase, and if they were to put a color changed Fey Dragon into the game, then it would anger people who bought the original mount, and rightly so. And while I suppose they could perhaps remove the crazy color swap in the Fey Dragon, I personally don't think that's enough to really warrant it being a store mount. I mean, if that was the case, then why the hell are they not selling us sparkly Cloud Serpents? No, the sparkly Cloud Serpents are rare mounts from some bosses, not things that should go in the fucking Blizz store. The sparkly Fey, if there was going to be a regular Fey Dragon, then instead of being on the Blizz store, the sparkly Fey Dragon should be from a feckin' boss. Anyway, so, making another version of the Fey Dragon that's perhaps armored or something like that is equivalent to making an upgraded version of the base one that was on the Blizzard store. Now, they can't do that for free in-game if they have already sold the base version of the mount to people on the store, because that's just extremely unethical. It's basically, saying in, December, here's a unique and special mount, and then later on saying, oh yeah, you can get a sort of technically better version of that for free in-game. Lol. That's not cool. Now, the same thing actually does go for the Skyreaver, and I suppose that they could just give you a regular Chimera as an in-game reward, but then again, that would take away from the idea of store mounts being unique and special things. And the reason for you buying one is because you're basically funding A, the game, and B, a bit of extra special work. But you're not. Now, is it still not pretty damn disgusting for them to put a normal Skyreaver with no iron stuff on it, but then have the upgraded one in the Blizzard store? That's still horrible. That's just saying, oh yeah, so that's fine guys, we'll give you the basic Chimera thingy in the game for free. Maybe a few thousand gold, whatever. But if you want the really awesome one, with the bells and whistles, then you need to pay for it. Same thing goes if they just add in a regular Fey Dragon. Oh, you want the sparkly one? Pay for it. Not cool, Blizzard. Really not cool. Now, currently, in-game, right now in Pandaria, we do not see NPCs riding around the place on store mounts. However, in Warlords of Draenor, There are NPCs running around the place on both Fey Dragons and Iron Skyreavers. To me, if an NPC is going around on a mount, I should be able to earn that mount. If I can see a bit of in-game content that is maybe not, a store mount that another player bought, so maybe if it's on an NPC. But if I see an NPC riding something around, I should be able to earn that. That's like the whole point. It's really, it just gets to me. Now, and I am also aware that this whole argument also does apply to the Collector's Edition mount, and that has been going on for a decent bit of time. Am I 100% happy about it? No. But I suppose one mount is still bearable, whereas in Warlords of Draenor, we will have at least 3 mounts that could have been in the game, but were not. But here's the thing, guys. It's more than 3. They can't just go around giving people in-game Skyreavers and Fey Dragons, just like how they couldn't go around the place in Mists of Pandaria giving out in-game Quillen mounts. There are no other in-game Quillen mounts in Pandaria, apart from the one you get with the Collector's Edition. The same goes for the Dreadraven mount. So now there will be no Dreadraven mounts available in-game as rewards, there will be no Fey Dragons, and there will be no Chimeras. Either that, or we will have Chimeras and Fey Dragons being in there, but just in a really uncomfortable and rather horrible business model where we would have to pay extra for the version of the mount with all the bells and whistles that honestly should have just dropped from a raid or a rare boss or something. It's just horrible. Look, I know that because some people have been playing Warcraft and Blizzard games for so long, they just have this little thing inside them where they can't bring it to themselves to think Blizzard would do something that bad. No, they couldn't. Blizzard couldn't do that. No. No, no, no. In this case, Blizzard grabbed 2 in-game Warlords of Draenor mounts, and instead of putting them where they should be as an in-game reward item, they decided to sell them to you. But not only that, they also taunt you by having numerous NPCs and mobs use those mounts. Now I'm going to ask you to imagine something, just for a second. So imagine if these mounts had appeared on the store during the Warlords of Draenor beta. People would have seen the NPCs from the beta videos, flying around the place on their lovely Fey Dragons, and they would have thought, oh geez, that's a great mount. And then a few seconds later, Blizzard would have tried to sell them one. People would have been very pissed, but Blizzard are just trying to slip this under the radar. But you know what, damn it, even if I can only inform a few thousand of you, I still feel the need to speak out for what is best for the consumer. Because shit like this isn't cool. And here's the thing, and I know that slippery slope arguments are just like the worst thing to make, but if consumers allow companies to take more and more, then over time, your games will get less and less consumer friendly, to the point where you are going to be nickel and dimed for things that should have already been in the game. Now, I'm sure that this is not the most egregious example of something like that happening, and, the other sort of games market is just rife with pre-order bonuses and bollocks like that, but still, World of Warcraft is our game, and we just need to make sure that things like this don't happen. Right now, we can't do much about it, but we can voice our concerns, and we can let Blizzard know that stuff like this isn't cool. And here's the other thing as well, stuff like this did not happen in past expansions, or at least did not happen to this degree. I will be very interested to count the number of unique mount models that we get in Warlords of Draenor, and no, Mists of Pandaria having 10 different Cloud Serpents just doesn't count. Well, now that all that negativity's out of the way, that's basically it for the video. Look, if you want to share this with your guild or your friends or something, or not even share the video, just share the idea or let people know about what is actually going on. Do, because the more educated a player base we have, the better, and it would be nice if less people were mindless drones that just lapped up every little thing that Blizzard gave them. So, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.